Hello and welcome to the Junkyard here in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. I have been coming here, I've spent about the last hour coming here, checking cars and leaving, coming here, checking cars and leaving, looking for more Mercedes cars to work on. I have found two, but it has been a really long haul. So I wanted to come, and plus, not only that, I have bought every car that I felt was remotely desirable, which means I have built myself an enormous backlog of cars to work on. So I decided I had better stop and then go and do some work. I actually really like working on these. But I have basically... Well, I haven't filled my parking. I have a lot of room in my parking. But I have created an enormous backlog of cars in there. So I don't even know if I'm ever going to do them all. I might end up pulling things out and then just cosmetically fixing them up and selling them to get room again. I have bought like 4 Roadrunners and 2 Barracudas and at least 3 Bugatti Chirons and a couple of Ferrari F40s. I got a Porsche 959 and a whole mess of Mustangs and Shelby GT350s. It's just crazy. Let's get out of here. Okay, so here we are, and I even have a full house here at the moment. So the RX-3 and the GT350 over there you guys have seen before. They're done now. This car it actually had this livery on it when I cleaned it up, so I went ahead and painted it with the livery on. It says 16, but it looks like 91 on the roof. But I'd like doing these. This is a fun little car to build, and it goes together really nicely, even though there aren't a whole lot of performance parts for the engine. The rotaries, you just can't pump them up very much because there aren't a lot in the way of performance parts for it. I think it only went up. I think the original horsepower was like 120. And this car is not super valuable, but it's easy to build and I like them. So $59,000 for that. So the GT350 over here, of course. This is just the standard GT350. And this one is like it's over $200,000. So $221,000 for this car. And while I was working on those cars, before I completed those cars, I went to the junkyard again on kind of a lark, and I actually bought all 3 of these at the same time. This, of course, is a Dodge Viper, and this one is almost over five. No, it's over. Is it over 500? No, it's not. $492,000, $495,000. So almost $500,000 for this car. And then this is a Roadrunner, and it actually had I think the 6P engine in it. This is the Roadrunner 440. Oh, it had the 6P, the OHV 6P. And I put a Hemi in it because why not? And this one is $96,000. I really like working on the Roadrunners though. I'm fond of the old American muscle cars. And then this, of course, is a Ferrari GT40. This one has the V8, the supercharged V8 engine in it, which you can't see underneath the engine cover. There, now you can see it. And this car, this one is one I wanted to stress to people. If you're playing on PC and you're wanting to make some money, download this mod. Because when I first brought it in here and I cleaned it up and I put body parts on it and fixed the interior, it was worth $2.2 million just cosmetically fixed up. And now it's worth over 3. 2.8 plus 5. So it's almost $3.5 million as is. So this is definitely one you want to look for. If you're having trouble making money, you definitely want to download this mod and you want to get this car. Even if you don't build it out with performance parts, you're still going to make a ton of money. So now let's see if I can find those. I actually found 2 Mercedeses. See, look at how many cars I bought. I filled up like 4, almost 5. I filled up like 4, almost 5 floors worth of cars. I just bought so many things here. There's one of them. And where is... saw some... oh yeah, there's a stock Chevy Nomad that I finally found. I also got this Bentley because I noticed there was an update for the game that came out today, and it said that they added Mercedes and they added Bentley tuning parts. So I wanted to get a hold of a Bentley. That Continental GT was the first one I found. I was looking for a T-Series as well, but I only found the one Continental in this deep dive I was doing. Where's that other? There it is. I got 2 SRT Hellcats. I got like 3 Chirons. I know I got 2 of these Barracudas. It's nuts. I got 2 Chargers. I also got a Ford GT40, which I want to pull out because the GT40 I have been looking for so that I can do one so that I could spotlight one. And now that I finally found one, I regret that I wasn't able to show it to you in the junkyard, but I did find one, and here it is. So here we go. So we have, yeah, this is the GT40 that I picked up. I think these 2 Mercedeses are the same model. Uh, 560 SEC. 560 SEC. So yeah, they're the same model. But I'm interested to see what they have done since they said they added tuning parts. So we can get in here and start. Well, let's rip out all the body parts. The first one of these I did was actually I did one of these as a customer order, you may remember. And I find this is the first time. Oh, that bumper comes off. And that one didn't have one, that's why. But the first one of these I saw was a customer order, and this is the first time. Well, it took me a bunch of times to find them, but they were in the junkyard. And let's get everything off of here as well, because I'm going to clean up all 3 of these. There we go. At least the Mercedes parts are all keyed by the model. It makes them easy to find. And I don't know if all these cars have front and back plates, but I have just a buttload of cards. I just have a buttload of cars that are going to need work, so I might as well get a whole bunch of plates. Oh, there's a bench. Oh, bench SEC. So this one doesn't have a fan housing. I like how this is tucked in up here though. This one has a fan housing on it though. Radiator fan housing. Okay, now that's a kind of a, it's almost kind of a deep, I mean it's like brown, but there's like a hint of purple in it. These two cars are the same color. I hope they added performance exhaust parts for the Mercedeses, since the two Mercedeses I did, the 300 and the 250, they just had stock exhausts. So hopefully they will have performance exhaust for them now. Okay, so that's front pipe V8 OHV. what are these other ones? Whoa. Middle pipe V8. Let's see, let's search for M177. No, not 177. M117. Yep. And look at that, it's all here. So I need to buy 2 of each of these. Now that is nice. I like that. And let's see what they did for this car. Well, the middle muffler, the catalytic converter is going to be easy. Those look like they're all W12. There must be a pump in there. There is. Okay, so middle muffler and catalytic converter. Front exhaust section W12. Rear muffler W12. I don't remember if these are. I mean, I'm not absolutely sure that these are new, or that these particular bits are new. It's been a while since I did a GT, Continental GT, so it's possible that they might not be new, but they aren't immediately familiar to me. Okay, 560 SEC. So basically I need to buy 2 of everything here. I keep looking at that back bumper and thinking that it's wanting me to take it off. Okay, body 100%. I don't really like this color, but I don't want to spend a lot of time fooling with it. 0, 45, and 21. I'm going to do something silly. Okay, 100% on that. So, yeah, this is going to be silly. 0, 45, and 21. There. Now they're all the same color. Oh boy. I missed that fender. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, so they're all the same color now. There seems to be a distinctly purple component to this brown. It looks like a bruise is what it looks like. It looks like a big bruise. But I figured, why not? Let's make them all the same color because it would be silly. The Continental, especially with the blue and red interior, the kind of brownish purple doesn't really match that at all. What I'm going to try and do at this point is get these all cosmetically fixed up. I think working on all of these is going to take more time than I want to spend at one sitting. So what I'm going to probably do is break this in half. I'll I'll do the running gears, and basically get the chassis. Well, the chassis and stuff is already done, but getting the suspension and all that stuff set up so that it's nice and clean and ready to go, and then I can build the engines and plop them in. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the engine looks like when you're building it. Since I did notice some of the performance bits that they added for the Mercedes, for both the Bentley and the Mercedes. Like when I was reassembling, because I finished up those other cars today, the F40 and the Roadrunner and the Viper. And when I pulled up like the alternators and stuff, I noticed both Bentley and Mercedes bits in the performance store. So hopefully, what I really want to do, what I was hoping to find when I was spending the better part of an hour going back and forth to the junkyard, was what I really was hoping to find was another 300, the Gullwing 300. Because, I built one right away at the beginning when the DLC first came out, and there were like no performance bits for it other than like the pistons and the spark plugs. So I really want to see what it'll be like if I can build one so that it's there's purpose-made performance parts for it. Interesting that it uses just a V8 OHV transmission, though. They don't have a purpose-made Mercedes transmission, at least for this model. Not like the Porsches, for instance, that have the B6 transmission for the 911, and the Carrera, of course, has the V10, or the Carrera GT, I mean. The Carrera 4S is like the B6A, but they have their own transmissions and their own engines as well. They've added these Mercedes engines. And they're, clearly the ones we've already done, the i6 engines, were clearly built off the standard i6 core with like Mercedes bits attached to it, and they were cool, to be sure. Don't get me wrong. These are V8s, so they're hopefully they're OHV engines, since it's an OHV transmission, which just occurred to me. It's like, boy, I hope they don't have rocker arms and push rods, because that's always my favorite thing to do. So for one of these rear ends, it's 16 bushings, 8 of each. Now it's 16 of each kind. I'll try and, well, these are 9 and 10%, probably won't be able to get them back. So two complete sets of rear brakes. So that's 4 of everything except for the ventilated, because we're doing the rear. I wonder if one thing I've always kind of complained about is that they don't have like performance starters, and you'd think that they would, but no, they don't. Okay, so where are we at now? Did I flush the old brakes? No. And the rear sway bar, was it sway bar B? It is. Four of those, and 2 of them, and then 4 of this, 4 of that, 4 of that. I don't remember which rear shock absorber it was. Shock absorber A, so I need 4 of those. Now, ordinarily I would buy 2 of each of these, but I'm going to buy 4 of each of these now. Except for the cross member, which we'll buy 2. Okay, rear wheel hub and wheel hub 3, that's the important thing there. You have 4 of those, 4 of those, and 4 of those. Okay. So where are we at now? Not too bad. Rear drive axle times 4. So no repairing on these, unfortunately. I think I'm just gonna... I could dismount these and try to repair them, but I think I'm just gonna buy new ones. 560 SEC, 15-inch. These are all 215 65 15. Let's go and chrome those rims too. I thought for a second about painting them the same color as the body of the car, but I think that would be a bit much. This rim has the Mercedes logo right on it. It's not, well, there must be something, because when you stick it on the spindle there, I was going to say it doesn't look like it's a hubcap, because the other ones were a hubcap. Oh, no, look, you can see the spindle is jammed right through it. .215 65 15, 215 65 15. So I matched the tire size. That's important. I'm still looking for another Pagoda because I still think I messed up the tire size because it just didn't look big enough. It looked like it was too small. I wish that when you do this that the thing would light up and show you like a display. Even if it wasn't animated, I think it would be cool if the display would show, you know, balancing and whatever. Is it just me, or does that suspension arm seem like it's cocked inward quite a bit? It seems like it's canted inward at a sharper angle than I'm used to seeing. This whole rear end looks so good when it's nice brand new metal. I mean, it really is satisfying. I mean, it's kind of a long process to assemble it, but man, it looks good when it's done. Yeah, that works. I was kind of afraid that chrome against this color would be kind of gaudy, but it works alright. This body strip looks like it's kind of pinkish. I especially look at the fitting around the door handle there. It really looks pink. It's kind of a weird color. Yeah, that really does seem like it's at a sharp angle. I mean, they must have, edited it for this car. I have to look at the one. I mean, I know that the Continental back there behind me has this same rear end. I mean, I'm not going to do that right now, but I'm going to have to look at it and see if the angle on that rear suspension arm is as noticeable as it is on this one. $28,000 for that car. $42,000 for this car. How in the world is that so different? What I'm going to do here, since this is going to run long if I do this, if I try to do the whole thing. So I'm gonna I'll get these front ends rebuilt, and I'll get the engines yanked out, and then I'll do a separate episode on the engine building, and that should make this more of a palatable meal, if you will, rather than running for over an hour. At this point, I think I've been recording for a good 45 minutes. I know that some people time-lapse a lot of stuff. I just don't really like that. I mean, I'm not a fan of, I don't want to do it myself. I always figure that if you're doing a gameplay video, that you should show what the game is all about. And this is one of the things that the game is all about. And I mean, you either get it, you either enjoy this kind of thing or you don't. And the reason I mean, I've been playing for the game for quite a while. And I mean, you can tell I have how long I've been playing by how much money I have. But I guess I find it satisfying enough that even though sometimes it gets tedious, I still keep coming back. Oh, I didn't take that spring off. Come here. Look at the way those pipes, yeah, those pipes clip into the steering rack right there. I was looking at it thinking, that looks odd. I took a closer look at it, you can see it, where the pipe is biting into the steering rack just a little bit. So I know right away I'm going to need 4 tie rods, 4 of each tie rod, and 2 racks. And I will need 4 of these. And 4 of these. I'm not sure which. What did I buy? Front sway bar. And let's see, that is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bushings. So that should be 4 front wheel hubs, 4 bearings, and 4 caps, if I remember correctly. I'm going to go ahead and get the front axle knuckle covers. So these are all, might be able to repair 2 of those, but might as well just replace them. Let's see, front shock absorber A, so these can all go away now. SCC 15. And those were 215, 6515. So what's left? Front steering knuckle A. Oh no, that's not enough. Cross. There were 2 of those. And then 4 lower suspension arms. Okay, so we're all parted up. Well, almost. Let's get these rims chromed. I think that was 4. I hope it was 4. I think that's the last one to be mounted. Yeah. So that should be, what, 2 left to be balance. And 215, 65, 15. Okay, we matched the tire size. Stick one of these engines over here. Whoa, that one is... There's some pistons on it, but there's not much else. Okay, so once I get the front end assembled, I'll pause this one and then we'll come back and do the engines separately, because we're right at about an hour now. I'm not a fan of that color still, but I do think the wheels look a lot better like this. I think they give it a little bit of pizzazz, if you will, a little bit of zing to set off the chocolate brown car. I still think it looks like a bruise, though. It still seems like it has a bit of a purple tinge to it. Honestly, it kind of freaks me out. Okay, there they are. Two chocolate brown Mercedes 500s. Where did it go? I wanted it to go back to its home place. God, that's such a bad color. My God. If I mess with if I look at it much longer, I'm going to repaint them. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and pause this here, and we'll come back and do a separate video on the building of the engine, because I really want to see what the engine looks like, since this is one of the new ones in the DLC. I really want to see what kind of parts go on it. I'm really interested in that. So, if you made it this far, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you for part 2 of the Mercedes build, and we'll probably also do the Bentley, because I want to see if they had they did say that they added performance parts for the Bentley, and I want to see if there's anything for the Continental, or if it's just for the T-Series, but we'll see about that. So, I hope you enjoyed our Junkyard adventure here, and I hope to see you again next time. So on that note, bye for now.